Yes. Welcome to another episode of the Angry Movie Nerd. Yeah, you got that right. I'm the angry fucking movie nerd. Yeah, people wanted me to do these reviews. Check out my Wanted Total Recall. I mean, it's really fucking crappy quality-wise. So I'm going to go a new route with these reviews. Mostly just pictures and me just talking shit about them and stuff. Okay, since I reviewed the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Total Recall, I thought it'd be fun to tell you a little bit about The Running Man. Oh man, The Running Man. It was directed by Paul Michael Glaser, and for people that didn't know, Stephen King wrote the book it was based on, but he didn't write it under Stephen King. He wrote under his pen name Richard Bachman, because according to like a documentary or something I seen on him, he said the reason he had to do under a pen name is because nobody would believe he could put out that many books in 1 year or some shit, and nobody'd take him serious as a writer or some shit like that. Yeah, some shit like that, but who knows? But yeah, anyway, Running Man came out in 1987. I remember watching it on HBO quite a bit, during those free preview weekends. But yeah, Running Man, what can I say about this movie? I mean, Arnold pretty well set up for supposedly killing a bunch of people who were writing for food, but he didn't do it. They set him up. He goes on the run after he escapes prison with two of his buddies or whatever. And it's got Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac in it. We've got Richard Dawson from the Old School Family Feud. I mean, yeah, he plays Damien Killian, I believe was his name. And he's just a fucking prick. And Arnold pulls out his, I'll be back line in that movie and all this shit. But anyway, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays a guy named Ben Richards. And Yaphet Kotto's in it. He's his friend. He plays William Laughlin. And then there's Marvin J. McIntyre, who plays Harold Weiss. That's his two buddies that escape with him. Anyway, and then in other words, they get caught. They're put into like this live game where they have to run for their lives while trying to stay alive. They got people trying to kill them, like Fireball, played by Jim Brown. Jesse Ventura in the movie, plays Captain Freedom. There's a guy who's like a gay opera singer named Dynamo, who always lights up and shit. Buzzsaw was my favorite, and he'd ride a motorcycle and have like a big chainsaw and like try to kill him and shit. Well, anyway, pretty much it's about how the government's lulling you to sleep, pretty much. Kind of like a They Live type movie. And about how the media is and shit, and about how they set him up. So they're trying to take down the uplink, which is somewhere in the Running Man arena. So yeah, they're fucking dodging fucking chainsaws and electric bolts and flames and all this shit, trying to survive and all this shit. Yeah, pretty much in the future, music's destroyed, and the game of like life pretty much is fucking televised for like the whole world to see on these big screens outside and all this shit. But according to this, it says in the year 2017, which is next year, the world economy has collapsed. The great freedoms of the United States are no longer, as the once great nation has sealed off its borders and become a militarized police state, censoring all film, art, literature, and communications. Even so, a small resistance force led by two revolutionaries managed to fight the oppression. With full control over the media, the government attempts to quell the nation's yearning for freedom by broadcasting a number of game shows on which convicted criminals fight for their lives. The most popular and sadistic of these programs is The Running Man, hosted by Damon Killian, which is Richard Dawson. When a powerful protest of starving citizens gather in Bakersfield, California, yeah, Bakersfield, home of fucking corn, a police officer named Ben Richards is ordered to fire on the crowd, which he refuses to do. Subdued by the other officers, the attack is carried out, and Richards is framed for the murder of almost 100 unarmed civilians. Following a daring jailbreak months later, Richards escapes, only to be caught again, and then he's put in the Running Man game. But yeah, Running Man was a pretty good movie. I mean, it had a lot of action in it, but I wouldn't say it's better than RoboCop by no means. RoboCop was the better movie that came out in '87. But yeah, I mean, what more can I really say about it? It came out November 13th of 1987 in the U.S. And I don't know, there's some quotes from it, but the most memorable quote to me was probably when he told Killian that he'd be back, and Killian says, only in reruns. And the people who chase them through the Running Man game they were called stalkers. There was one named Sub-Zero, I remember. He was played by Professor Torio Tanaka, which is famous as Odd Job in Goldfinger, the dude who threw the hat. And he was in there, and they was like on like a hockey rink or something. Let's see. And there's a girl in the movie named Amber Menendez. She gets thrown into the Running Man with them, and they have to. Arnold has to try to keep her alive and shit, and this and that and the other. Well, another famous line from the movie was when Arnold was fighting with Buzzsaw, and Buzzsaw says, "I love this saw. It's part of me. Now I'm going to make it part of you," which is cheesy as hell. And then there's a part where conversation between Damien Killian and Arnold's character Ben Richards, where Damien Killian says, "You bastard, drop dead," and Ben Richards says, "I don't do requests." Yeah, it was a cheesy 80s movie. And if you're wondering where I'm getting some of this information, I'm not going to lie. I'm on the Internet Movie Database trying to get some information that I'd forgot, but most of this is off the top of my head. Yeah, pretty much Running Man. It was a decent movie. Well, this video is going to be shitty as hell because, for one, it's just going to be like a solid poster because I cannot shoot video right now. I had a little technical difficulty with my camera. I got a way around it, but I've got to get to the store and get me some rewritable discs so that I can do it, so I don't waste this. I have to plug my camera directly into a DVD recorder or some shit to capture this stuff. But yeah, well, that's the end of this review. This is episode 2 of the Angry Movie Nerd, and we just got done talking about the Running Man. If there's a movie you want me to check out or something, or review, I'll try to find it, watch it, something, try to find some information out about it, make a video. Just stay tuned.